Most men believe attraction is all about physical appearance, but what if I told you that women are drawn to something much more powerful than looks? It's true. There's an invisible force that pulls women towards certain men, and it has nothing to do with how you look or how much you try to impress her. In fact, the secret is often overlooked by many men, and it has everything to do with your mindset and behavior. By the end of this video, you'll learn exactly why some men are able to effortlessly attract women, while others constantly find themselves in the friend zone or losing interest. You'll also discover how to tap into this power and make yourself the kind of man who naturally commands attention. Stick with me, and you'll find out how to stop chasing and start attracting in the most powerful way possible. Let's unlock this Stoic trick that will change your approach to dating forever. One of the biggest mistakes men make in dating is chasing women or seeking constant validation. It's easy to fall into the trap of overthinking every interaction, texting too much, or constantly trying to win her approval. The problem with this approach is that it doesn't make you more attractive. It makes you appear desperate, needy, and emotionally unstable. Women can sense when a man is too eager or overly dependent on her attention, and it's a huge turn-off. This kind of behavior erodes the natural attraction that should exist in a healthy relationship. When you overcommit emotionally too early, you inadvertently push her away. The truth is, attraction isn't built on seeking her approval. It's built on respecting yourself and maintaining control over your own emotional state. And that's where Stoicism comes into play. When a man constantly seeks a woman's validation, he unknowingly places her on a pedestal, creating an imbalance in the dynamic. This puts unnecessary pressure on the relationship because it shifts the power away from mutual attraction and into a one-sided game of pursuit. Women don't want to feel like they are the prize to be won. They want to feel naturally drawn to a man who holds his own ground. When a man makes her the center of his world too soon, it signals that he lacks purpose and direction outside of the relationship. This is why the men who prioritize their own growth, ambitions, and well-being tend to attract women effortlessly. They exude confidence because their self-worth isn't tied to any single person's approval. When a man understands this, he stops acting from a place of scarcity and begins to embody true abundance. Additionally, when a man overanalyzes every conversation or gesture, he becomes overly reactive to a woman's behavior instead of standing firm in his own reality. This hyper-awareness makes him second-guess himself, leading to awkwardness and insecurity that women can sense immediately. A confident man doesn't need to dissect every text message or read into every moment of silence. He trusts himself and the natural flow of the interaction. Women find this level of self-assurance incredibly attractive because it demonstrates emotional stability and a lack of desperation. When you stop overthinking and start trusting yourself, you naturally project the kind of energy that makes people want to be around you. Attraction is never about chasing, it's about positioning yourself in such a way that she feels compelled to come closer to you. Moreover, constantly seeking a woman's approval robs a man of his own ability to lead in the relationship. Instead of making decisions with confidence, he hesitates, waiting for her to dictate the pace and direction. This passivity is another reason why attraction fades. Women are instinctively drawn to men who can take charge, not those who constantly defer to them for reassurance. A man who leads with certainty and purpose creates a sense of security that women find deeply appealing. However, this doesn't mean being controlling or dismissive of her needs. Rather, it's about showing that you trust yourself enough to stand firm in your beliefs and decisions. When a man embraces this mindset, he stops looking for external validation and instead builds a foundation of inner confidence that naturally draws people towards him. Ultimately, attraction is not about proving your worth to a woman. It's about recognizing your own value and letting her discover it on her own. The moment you stop chasing and start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, everything changes. Women respect and desire men who respect themselves first. When you embody the principles of Stoicism, emotional control, self-assurance, and resilience, you naturally shift from a position of weakness to a position of strength. And when you operate from a place of strength, you don't have to chase love. It finds you effortlessly. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that true strength comes from emotional resilience and self-control. A Stoic man is calm, composed, and unaffected by external circumstances, which is precisely why he becomes magnetic to women. Unlike the typical man who chases after validation, the Stoic man understands that attraction isn't something to be forced. It's something that happens naturally when you maintain a sense of inner peace and confidence. When you stop chasing, you stop seeking approval, and in doing so, you become infinitely more attractive. Women are drawn to men who have control over their emotions and don't allow themselves to be easily rattled. This sense of emotional stability and inner strength is what makes you irresistibly appealing. The Stoic mindset, then, isn't just a mental exercise. It's a way of living that naturally attracts high-value people into your life. The essence of Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent. It's about mastering your responses and maintaining control over how external events affect you. Many men mistakenly believe that being overly emotional or reactive will show a woman how much they care, but in reality, it often has the opposite effect. When a man allows his mood to be dictated by a woman's actions, whether she texts back quickly, shows interest, or pulls away, he gives away his power. A Stoic man, however, remains grounded in his own sense of self-worth. He doesn't crumble when faced with rejection or uncertainty because he understands that his value isn't determined by someone else's approval. Instead, he stands firm in his principles, knowing that his confidence and composure will naturally draw others to him. Women find this level of self-assuredness incredibly attractive because it signals strength, leadership, and emotional maturity, qualities that are essential in a high-value partner. Furthermore, adopting a Stoic mindset doesn't mean you stop caring about relationships. It simply means you refuse to let them control your happiness. A Stoic man understands that attraction thrives on polarity, the dynamic between masculine strength and feminine energy. When a man becomes too emotionally dependent on a woman's validation, he unconsciously shifts the balance, making her the dominant force in the interaction. This disrupts the natural flow of attraction and creates an unhealthy dynamic where he's constantly seeking reassurance. On the other hand, when a man remains in control of his emotions and stays true to his own path, he maintains his masculine frame, allowing attraction to build naturally. Women want a partner who can weather life's storms, not someone who crumbles at the slightest sign of adversity. When you embody this mindset, you'll find that not only does your dating life improve, but you also gain a deeper sense of confidence and fulfillment in every area of your life. A true Stoic doesn't view setbacks, whether in dating, career, or personal growth, as failures, but as lessons that strengthen his character. He knows that people come and go, situations change, and nothing is truly permanent. This realization frees him from attachment to outcomes, making him even more attractive because he exudes an air of effortless confidence. When a woman senses that a man isn't afraid to walk away, she naturally becomes more intrigued by him. This isn't manipulation. It's a reflection of his self-respect and understanding that his happiness isn't dependent on any single person. He lives by the principle that he is enough, with or without external validation. When you internalize this truth, you stop fearing loss, and ironically, that's when you start gaining more in return. This is the paradox of attraction. The less you need approval, the more effortlessly you receive it. Studies in psychology have shown that women are subconsciously attracted to men who display emotional resilience. This is because emotional stability signals to women that a man can handle challenges and stressful situations without crumbling or panicking. When a man reacts emotionally, especially in situations where calmness is needed, he fails an unconscious test that women are always running in their minds. On the other hand, when a man remains calm and unfazed, even when faced with uncertainty, it triggers a deeper, more primal attraction. This doesn't mean being cold or unfeeling. It means having the strength to remain grounded, regardless of external pressures. Emotional resilience is a sign of maturity, and women are hardwired to seek out men who can offer them stability and security. The Stoic approach, then, directly aligns with what women find most attractive on a psychological level. Emotional resilience is deeply rooted in evolutionary psychology. Throughout history, women have gravitated toward men who exhibit the ability to remain composed under pressure because it signals a capacity to provide safety and stability in uncertain environments. In primitive times, a man who panicked in the face of danger or adversity was less likely to survive and protect his family. That instinct still exists today, even in modern relationships. When a man reacts impulsively to minor conflicts, allows his emotions to control him, or seeks excessive reassurance, it creates doubt in a woman's mind about his ability to handle larger life challenges. On the other hand, when a man can maintain his frame in the face of adversity, whether it's a disagreement, an unexpected setback, or emotional turbulence, he sends a powerful signal that he is in control. This level of self-mastery is attractive because it assures women, on both a conscious and subconscious level, that they are with someone who can weather life's storms without faltering. Moreover, studies on emotional intelligence have shown that individuals who can regulate their emotions tend to have more successful relationships. Emotional stability fosters trust, a crucial component in attraction and long-term compatibility. A woman needs to feel that her partner can be a pillar of strength when needed, rather than someone she constantly has to emotionally reassure. This doesn't mean that a man should suppress his emotions completely, but rather that he should process them with wisdom and composure. When a man is reactive, raising his voice, acting impulsively, or withdrawing in frustration, he signals a lack of control, which can be unsettling. In contrast, a man who can acknowledge his feelings without allowing them to dictate his actions showcases confidence and maturity. Women find this deeply attractive because it reflects a level of self-assuredness that sets high-value men apart from the rest. Another crucial aspect of emotional resilience is how it affects the dynamic of attraction itself. Women naturally test men, not to be manipulative, but as an instinctive way to gauge their strength. This is often referred to as shit tests in dating psychology. A woman might create a minor conflict, push a boundary, or withdraw affection to see how a man responds. If he reacts emotionally, becoming insecure, needy, or defensive, it signals weakness. But if he remains unaffected, holding his ground with calmness and certainty, she feels a renewed sense of attraction. This is why men who chase after validation, overly explain themselves, or break their frame in moments of tension often find themselves losing the respect and interest of women. The Stoic man, however, understands that his worth isn't dictated by any one interaction or test. He remains centered in his values, knowing that attraction is built through self-assuredness, not emotional volatility. The power of emotional resilience extends beyond dating and into all areas of life, including business, friendships, and personal growth. High-status individuals, whether they are leaders, athletes, or successful entrepreneurs, exhibit the ability to stay composed under immense pressure. This ability to control one's emotions and maintain focus is universally respected making it a key trait for any man looking to command respect and admiration. Women are naturally drawn to men who embody this level of discipline because it signals long-term potential and strength. When a man shows that he can handle challenges without losing his composure, he becomes someone women don't just desire in the moment, but see as a valuable long-term partner. Emotional resilience is, therefore, not just an attractive trait, it's an essential skill for personal success and fulfillment. Now that you understand the power of Stoicism, let's break down some simple steps you can take to regain control of your dating life. First, stop over-texting. Constant messaging only signals desperation and a lack of control. A high value man lets her wonder about him, allowing mystery to build attraction. Next, learn to control your emotions. If she pulls away or seems distant, resist the urge to chase after her or panic. This is a test of your emotional resilience. Stay cool, remain unshaken, and watch how she starts respecting you more. Finally, shift your focus away from her approval and towards your own purpose. Women respect men who are driven by their own mission, not those who revolve their lives around them. By practicing these steps, you will naturally become the type of man who attracts rather than chases women. Another crucial step in mastering the Stoic approach to attraction is understanding the power of silence and space. Many men feel the need to constantly fill every gap in communication, thinking that doing so will keep a woman interested. However, the reality is that space creates intrigue, and silence builds anticipation. Instead of always being available, learn to enjoy solitude and cultivate a sense of independence. This not only makes you more attractive, but also demonstrates that you are not emotionally dependent on her attention. When you give her the space to miss you, she will naturally start to wonder about you, increasing her interest and investment in the relationship. Women are drawn to men who have a sense of self-sufficiency, someone who can be happy and content without needing constant validation. This doesn't mean playing games or purposely ignoring her, but rather having the confidence to step back and let attraction develop organically. Additionally, body language plays a massive role in how you are perceived. A man who slouches, avoids eye contact, or fidgets nervously conveys insecurity and self-doubt, two things that kill attraction instantly. On the other hand, a man who carries himself with relaxed confidence, maintains steady eye contact, and moves with purpose exudes power and control. Women pick up on these nonverbal cues instinctively and are naturally drawn to men who demonstrate strong, grounded energy. Practice maintaining open and confident body language in all interactions, not just with women, but in everyday life. Walk with purpose, keep your shoulders back, and speak with a calm and deliberate tone. The more you embody these physical traits, the more natural they will become, and the more attractive you will appear without even saying a word. Attraction isn't just about what you say, it's about how you present yourself to the world. Another essential shift to make is to stop seeking reassurance. Many men make the mistake of constantly asking where they stand in a woman's life, fishing for compliments, or looking for signals that she still likes them. This behavior, though seemingly harmless, actually signals insecurity and a lack of self-worth. A man who is truly confident doesn't need reassurance because he already knows his value. Instead of seeking external validation, focus on validating yourself through your actions, achievements, and personal growth. Women are drawn to men who don't need constant affirmation because it signals that they are emotionally self-sufficient. The moment you stop needing approval from her or anyone else, you step into your true power. Confidence isn't about knowing she likes you. It's about knowing you bring value to any situation, regardless of her response. When you embody this mindset, attraction follows naturally. Lastly, cultivate an abundant mindset when it comes to dating and relationships. Many men become fixated on one woman, believing she is the only source of happiness or connection available to them. This scarcity mindset creates desperation and makes them tolerate poor treatment, overinvest emotionally, or fear losing her. A high-value man, on the other hand, understands that attraction is abundant and that there are countless opportunities to connect with amazing women. By adopting this mindset, you instantly relieve the pressure and detach from any specific outcome. When a woman senses that you are not dependent on her for happiness, it actually makes you more attractive because it signals that you have options. The key is to maintain high standards for yourself and never settle for someone who does not reciprocate your energy and effort. The more you embrace abundance, the less power any one person will have over your emotions, and the more naturally magnetic you will become. The truth is simple. The moment you stop chasing is the moment women will start chasing you. When you adopt a Stoic mindset and remain centered in your own strength, you become the kind of man who attracts rather than repels. Attraction isn't a game of winning over someone's affection. It's about maintaining your own emotional balance and showing that you can offer something of true value. Women respect men who don't need them for validation, but instead see them as equals in a relationship. Stay stoic, stay grounded, and trust that the right people will be drawn to you when you least expect it. If you want more mindset shifts like this, hit subscribe and let's level up together. It's time to transform your approach to attraction and take back control of your dating life.